Well, hi, folks. I'm really pleased to be able to meet you here online and say congratulations. You have a fantastic project, and I think you were the right choice by far. There wasn't anybody even close. So you have a really fantastic project, and I'd like to hear you tell a little more about how did it all get started? I guess it was about 18 years ago. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, the Ecovillage was founded 18 years ago, very near from Bogota, which is the capital of Colombia. It's an intentional community that was formed by people that the majority didn't know each other. It was a virtual and an email invitation to any person that feel and embrace the desire to live in an eco-village and to return to the countryside. A group were conformed, and later on we got to get the land because first we joined the group, and later we did the search of the territory. And by now we are like 15 families. We are living 20 people in like 3 hectares of land. And we have a very beautiful river crossing our land. We have a beautiful lake also, and a beautiful natural built houses, and a happy and committed community working the regeneration and sharing our knowledge and our learnings to a big community that we are in, that is the community of San Francisco, the town where we live in.
Yes, and we have been connected to the network since the beginning. AldeaFeliz was one of the founders of the Casa Colombia network and the Casa Latina also, because the Casa Latina was born here in Colombia, and AldeaFeliz was one of those eco-villages that were there in that moment. So we have been walking this path like since ever.
One of the things that stands out to me about AldeaFeliz is just how much it embraces like the eco-village model that Jen promotes in the holistic regeneration. So like it's so apparent that you're all or most of you are artists. There's creativity, there's cultural practices, there's permaculture working groups, there's ecological work. And so I just see like all of those elements being woven together, which is what Jen really supports and promotes. So I'm curious, like if you feel, you said the group came together and then the land, do you feel that one was more prominent at certain times in your journey, or one attracted certain kinds of people, or just how did those different areas of regeneration show up in the journey of AldeaFeliz?
They were so different people. So the first thing that we needed to embrace was difference, diversity. So that was a very good start. And the other thing is like the territory that is where AldeaFeliz is full of biodiversity too. It's full of birds, different colors, full of butterflies, all the insects, and it has been getting better, no? Well, like during these years, instead of getting worse, it's getting better like all the time. So it has been a process, no? Because integrating, for example, the sociocracy after the consent was a big process that moves a lot of emotions and people also, no, that makes some people go away, and that every change has been for better. Like now in these moments, what I feel with this prize also is like this economical that we call Ecovillages hours lifestyle. It's growing, you know, like now is the time where we feel that we are going to be able to bring abundance, like in the money way, because that's something that we never had before. No, we just have enough land, live and live in abundance, but in a different abundance, the abundance of life and and sharing and, you know, like, so it's beautiful to be able to include that also in that moment, in this moment. And that was the one that was less strong, but now I feel that we just get it, the strong, in the strength.
I'm curious to ask about one thing. The school for the 5 to 11-year-olds, that sounds like a very interesting initiative. Could you tell us a little more about how that works? Is it homeschooling or how do you do it? What's the principles for teaching?
Well, our educational project for the kids and infants is basically based on the Ecovillage principles. We developed an own pedagogy that we call the seed pedagogy. ¿Está bien dicho?
Sí.
Okay. And we understand that the kids are seeds, that we care about the soil, that we gave them all they need to express themselves in authenticity, in truth, that they can be able to express their feelings, their thoughts, that they are able to express their limits and recognize the limits of others and be able to solve conflicts, taking responsibility, and using arts and all the territory as a living aula. And this project is not committed to give the kids a lot of information, but instead we're encourage them to express their true selves and to ask to the teachers what they want to learn in a controlled environment.
It was more about building
And
their personalities up rather than teaching them math and languages and so on. I think that's an interesting point, and I agree very much with that approach. What is the role of the parents? Are they actively involved?
yes,
They are.
it's an
Educational community.
educational community. We understand that not only the kids are growing and learning, but also the parents. So this community gets involved all the parents, not as teachers, but as part of a living organism that uses sociocracy to structure and function. And the parents are very active in the different circles and participating in the school of parents and the work parenting. Okay, yeah, it's a community of parenting, like the third phase our of our process of designing the education that we want for our kids. In the first approaches, we as parents were the teachers. But in the process, we understood that being a parent is different than being a teacher. You need different skills. So in this actual model, we have 3 professional teachers or pedagogists, well, en fin, that they are leading the process of accompanying the kids in their process. And the parents are a living community that are a very important part of the organization because they do all the work that has to be done so the community works. Like another community, but we all conform a big community because in this project, there are not only the kids or the sons of daughters of the Ecovillagers, but also we are opening this space for all other kids of other parents of the town. So it's not only close to our Ecovillagers, but also opened to a lot of people that resonates with the Ecovillage principles and want to be part of a growing community that it's giving the kids an education that it's more focused on the inside than in the formal knowledge.
Has the school been there from the beginning, or did it emerge later? No, how old is the school then?
The first one was 2016. At the beginning, there were no children.
Well, that's where my question was leading, is if there are any graduates, and then sort of what's next, you know, like do they leave and go and have maybe teenager or university level experiences and then want to return, or like you're nurturing that youth, and then what's the next chapter for them?
We don't know yet, because the only one is our girl, that Mara is
Ah.
came to the city. Now we're in the city right now. Came to the city to study at the university.
Okay.
She finished, and she decided to finish her normal school, no, because she was big when we went to AldeaFeliz to live.
Yeah.
But then the other group of children, they are teenagers now.
Yeah.
So we are now developing another strategy for the teenagers. And we have a new baby in the place. So now we are also developing a strategy for the small, like the babies. Now
Which also makes it so beautiful, because that's another principle, you know, you're always evolving based on the needs, based on the situation that you see. So there's not one way to do anything. You have to always take the feedback loops and adjust and accommodate and grow. So that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I understand you have a close relationship with the nearest village. Some of their kids, they send their kids to your school, and you have an outreach program of some kind, or what? How do you relate to the local municipality or the local village?
Yes, with the neighbors.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do they think of you? I mean, in some places around the world, the eco-villages are considered sort of strange people, hippies, or they're different from us. What's the attitude
Yeah,
in your region? What's the attitude of the people? Do they look at you as strange, experimenting people, or are you just what? What do they think?
at the beginning, it was very difficult. Yes, at the beginning, they were like the hippies, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The police used to come to search for marijuana. Where is the marijuana plantation? Show us.
They were no.
They weren't.
Just to clarify.
Yeah. But in the first years, yeah, we were pointed as the hippies, as the weirdos, as the
Yeah.
marijuana smokers. But in the later years, over our participation in the different processes of the San Francisco town, we have been leading a lot of processes,
Yes.
social processes. So that experience and our participation in different aspects of the living in San Francisco, it has changed our perception, the
Yeah.
perception that others have from us. And now, for example, they just invited us to be part of something that in Colombia is called Junta de Acción Comunal. In English, it could be
It could be community action joint.
well, it's like the first political level of organization, and we were invited to be part of it to impose and dynamize the convivial committee, because we have achieved a lot of experiences and learnings through the lots of conflicts that we have been passed on.
Yeah, it's also because AldeaFeliz has been part of the Minga movement since the beginning, like with AldeaFeliz started. It's like this, the Minga is when people get together to work together for building something. So once a month, we go like now are 100 or 150 people in that group that not always go everybody, but we go to one place and the next month to another place. And in that place, we build between all of us something that the place needs. And at the beginning, there were a few people, but now it's a huge group that moves every month to a different place. So it's beautiful because we have been doing mingas in the school of the city, of the town. For example, that has been amazing because they didn't, yeah, in the school, there's not enough information of how do we work. And after being able to be there with all the people of the Minga, that has been amazing. And one of the things we're going to do with the money is celebrating the final Minga of this year with a big Aula Viva and celebration to be able to invite like everybody.
Beautiful.
And so you're quite active, I understand, both at the national level and also within the CASA. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am the
Is
president
it-
of
now, is
Casa
this
Latina.
just the two of you who are the very active ones, or are there others as well?
Yes, most
Well,
of us.
You have several active people. Well, it's often the case that in some ecovillages that there are one or two people who are very active and everybody else is more or less just, surviving or taking care of their daily problems. But you seem to have a group which is fairly broader than that, right? You have several active people.
Carlos has been at the board, for example, at the Gens board.
Yeah.
And he has been also in Casa Latina and Casa Colombia. He's one of the vision guardians because he's like from the beginning, he was one of the leaders of this. There's also Camila that has been working for Jen a long time, and she is leading the process of the school with the children. Yeah, she's very involved with that and with the research and things that we have been done with Jen. And there's also the other people that comes to and helps to build the Llamados de las Montañas, and we are all teachers of the Diplomado de Ecoaldeas, designing Ecovillage design program that we have in Latin America. Almost like half of the people is teaching there. And yeah, we are.
You're
We
just
try.
super motivated. Well, it's interesting, like Ross says, that the members are so active, but it's also a small community, right? You said 15 families. So I'm curious, like, what would you imagine is next? Like, would you expand as people see this and they're like, I want to join? Like, do you welcome visitors? How do you weave in new personalities? Or do you feel that, that container is everyone's done the process together? And yeah, how do you emerge from the next chapter?
We already have a baby.
Yeah. So, but then it's growing from inside the families.
No, but a baby, an Ecovillage that started in AldeaFeliz, because we open a call thinking to open a second AldeaFeliz, but then it became a different Ecovillage. It's called Mi Tribu, and they have now everything, a territory, start building, they are 70 families.
Wow. And that was inspired from AldeaFeliz as like maybe a second chapter?
Inspired and grow, and we teaches them everything we know, yeah, we were like with them from the beginning until they were big enough to follow their own path.
Okay.
And that is beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, and we are right now designing an event that it's ay, ¿cómo se dice? Lo que vamos a hacer en enero de la inmersión en vida ecualdeana.
Sí, like a living the experience of Ecovillage life.
Okay.
So the people can be with us, live with us, and learn basic skills in the practice in all the regenerative aspects. Yeah. And we're not open now for new members because our land is relatively small, but we're designing educational programs to teach them all the things that we learned and are basics and needed to found an eco-village. So we are, at this moment, we are open to design courses and to educate others through our learning so they don't have to leave the same mistakes that we did in the past. And we
That's
are
such
open
a, it's such an
also.
interesting, like if you think of it in the family model, it's like you raise your children, you teach them what you know, and then you set them free to like unleash their own personalities and have an impact on the world that they're going to live in. So that new community is responding to different needs than you did when you started. So that's a really cool model. Yeah.
Mhm. I'm curious to know a little more about the other eco-villages in Colombia. Do you have a well-functioning network, or is it just beginning? How far have you come?
It's amazing. The Colombia network is the strongest network in America Latina.
Really?
Like close, yeah. We have been doing the annual meeting called El Llamado de la Montaña from 19 years also. So every year we get together, and there's in between 100 and 500 people that comes from all Ecovillages in Colombia. And we have a big movement that, of course, AldeaFeliz lead, but is full of amazing examples of living
Yeah.
in
And
this way.
it functions very well, the network.
Yes.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, Casa Colombia is beautiful. You should come to Colombia.
Yeah.
You both.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd love to, yeah.
So maybe we end it on, yeah, like what's next? So you've done all of this amazing work, you've learned all the elements, you're welcoming visitors, you're training other eco-villages. Like, is there something else that you need support with? Or is there like something that you're dreaming into? How do you launch the next chapter of AldeaFeliz?
Well, we would love to build an amazing inspirational center. We would love to build a big space so we can have more visitors and provide more workshops and to share all of our learnings. But we at this moment have like a limitation, and it's that Orlando is very small relatively, relatively. And we at this moment we don't have much spaces for visitors to stay. So we would love to in the future build this big space with a lot of rooms to host several workshops of the regenerative movement, and be able to let more people to visit us, to live with us, and to experience the eco-village lifestyles by themselves. At the moment, we are just getting all the force and the organization to spread all of learnings, because we can have a lot of people coming to the eco village, so we have to go outside or use the virtuality to share all that we are ready to learn, because we know that all of our learnings are very important to be shared with a broader community, because it's necessary that the people can understand that they can relate them in peace, that we can accept the conflict as a gift to grow. And well, all the things that we have learned, we feel like now we are pushed by the life to to share it all we can.
And I want to say something. He says like huge, but we really don't have a space for something huge. It's like because we are so small, for as big is being able to have 50 people there. No, it's like, well, no, not that big. For us, it's big, of course, because giving food and everything for. Yeah, we have had 100 people camping there, but it's like at the end we don't like that much because it's a lot of impact on the ground, no, like yeah, on the forest and everything. So it's better smaller groups.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll just round off by saying, once again, congratulations. I think your project is a great inspiration. You're so active, and so your outreach is really impressive. And you're a great model for the rest of the world. So thank you very much for what you're doing.
Thank you, Rose.
you.
Thank
We are
you.
so proud and
Congratulations. And
happy.
thank you also, Ross, and honoring Hildur. And thanks for your generosity and support for
Yes,
Ross.
very much. Thank you for
So,
helping this
Bye-bye
world
then.
make a better world.
thank you so much. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
You're very welcome to
Nice to meet
AldeaFeliz
you all.
anytime. Please visit us.
Sit.
Yeah.